Yeah, this is like super duper good game. Nice. Look at us go. Even with the misplays. We're going to take the Howlbonder here. So they've got a triple block, which is awesome. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. We're playing a deck I've made revolving around Menace, primarily Kunoros, Hound of Athreos, which is a 3/3 with Vigilance, Menace, and Lifelink. Creature cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield, and players can't cast spells from their graveyards. So, you know, the graveyard mechanic has been rampant with Escape recently. URO is almost in every single deck. Yes, there are better ways to deal with URO. However, this is just a spicy way to get there. And then, of course, we also have Offspring's Revenge, which is a big part of the deck. This is a 5-cost enchantment, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, exile target red, white, or black creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 1/1. It gains haste until your next turn. So we're bringing some of our really high priority creatures back, giving them haste. They'll already probably have Menace, so they need double blockers, which will then, you know, allow our other creatures to get through, or, you know, vice versa, right? So the deck is very good at getting around our opponent's blockers. With that all being said, if you find any value within the video, go ahead, give me a thumbs up, share the channel out to one of your friends. As always, we do break down the deck list in its entirety, talking about each individual card, and then we're going to talk about the strategies, the synergies involved within the deck. How do all of these individual cards come together to form a really well-working, coherent archetype? Then we're going to watch some gameplay footage where I do my best to break down all of the play lines within the standard 2021 event. So this is a rotation-proof deck, which is really cool. And then we're breaking down, like I said, the play lines, the interactions between this deck and the rest of the decks you're going to be finding in the environment or the meta game. So it's great to know how your deck operates, which is really, really helpful to, you know, your play experience. But if you can also understand how it engages with its environment and the other decks you'll be seeing, you're going to get an additional leg up on your opponent. Finally, we have my closing thoughts. We talk about the deck, you know, how was it, how did it perform, do we want to make any changes, upgrades, etc., etc. You know, we close out with, you know, future content plans, and then, you know, a little bit of a vlog style closeout on my personal life if anybody's interested. So now that you know what this video is about, there's a skipping bar or a chapters bar at the bottom, that red slider. You can jump to whichever part you're most wanting to see. If you're not interested in the deck tech, go ahead and skip it, right? So yeah, the deck list starts out with 4 copies of Village Rites. This is a instant speed spell, and as an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. We get to draw 2 cards. So this is great because it can interrupt our opponent's removal and fizzle it. So if your opponent uses like a Brazen Borrower or Bone Crusher Giant on one of your own creatures, you can use this on the stack, sack your creature, and now their spell fizzles. So the creature doesn't go into exile for them to recast later. It goes directly into the graveyard. So that's one reason why Village Rites is really cool, and it's a draw engine, right? Into our 2 drops, we've got 4 copies of Stormfist Crusader. This is a human knight, which, you know, doesn't really matter within this deck. We're not using any anthems or, you know, things that need the card type. It's a 2/2 with Menace, and at the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card and loses 1 life. You know, it's an amazing draw engine. It does chip damage, and it also has Menace, which really meshes well with our deck. The first Menace engine here is Labyrinth Raptor. This is another 2/2 with Menace, and whenever a creature you control with Menace becomes blocked, defending player sacrifices a creature blocking it. So, you know, once the blockers are declared, that block will still happen. So if the blocker that they don't sacrifice can still kill your attacker, it'll still happen, but you still are going to get the removal on one of their creatures, which is really, really cool. We can also pay 2 to give our creatures with Menace +1/+0 until the end of turn. 3 copies of Kroxa, Titans of Death's Hunger. You all know this card. It's a 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it's escaped. We can use Village Rites instant speed, you know, on the stack to sacrifice our Kroxa, right, to draw those 2 cards because it's going to be sacrificed anyways. That's quite nice. And then whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card. Then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. And then, of course, we can recast it from our graveyard via the escape for 2 black sources and 2 red sources from our pool, also exiling 5 other cards from our graveyard. Into our 3 drops, 3 copies of Grimdancer. Now this is a 3/3, and when it enters the battlefield, you get to pick your choice of 2 different counters among Menace, Death Touch, and Lifelink to put on Grimdancer. Obviously, if we want to take Menace, we take Death Touch if it's early game. You know, if we're getting hit by an aggro deck or we need that life in any form, then we're going to take that life gain. Hunted Witness, this is another big baller black creature, or Hunted Nightmare with Menace. It's 4/5. What am I even talking about? Anyways, when Hunted Nightmare enters the battlefield, target opponent puts Death Touch counter on a creature they control. This is a bummer, but because of all your creatures having Menace, the Death Touch creature is going to need another blocker alongside it. So the chance that they're going to be able to block with that Death Touch is reduced unless they've got a wide field. Kunoros, Hound of Athreos. This is one of my favorite cards within the deck, and actually what we built the deck around. It's a 3/3 with Vigilance, Menace, and Lifelink. Creature cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards. Sonorous Howlbonder, a 2/2 with Menace. Each creature you control with Menace can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. So typically, Menace requires 2 blockers, but with the Howlbonder in play, you're actually going to have them use 3 blockers as a requirement, and then if we have the Raptor in play, they have to sacrifice one of those, so it really ties up their defenders, and we're going quite wide, so most of their blockers have to go to like 1 or 2 of our attackers, and then we still have a good portion of them that are going to get through. Of course, due to all the menace, we have to have Tentative Connection for 4 sorcery speed, but it costs 3 less to cast if you control a creature with menace, which obviously we do, and we're gaining control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. So this is just a great way to snag lethal in your opponents. They're like, well, we've got a blocker, we've got 1 more turn left. No, you don't. We're going to smash home with your own creature. We also can Village Rites it after the attack. Offspring's Revenge, we talked about this as well for 5, an enchantment, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, exile target red, white, or black creature card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 1/1 and gains haste until end of turn. It's nice because they're going to have menace, and then a lot of our other menace creatures, like we've seen, have huge beneficial effects to the deck as a whole, which we're going to get into a second within our strategies and synergies. Before we do, these spells are accompanied by 2 plains, 5 swamps, 4 mountains, 2 Temple of Silences, 2 Temple of Malice, 2 Temple of Triumphs, 4 Savai Triomes, and 3 Fabled Passages. There's no sideboard today. We're playing best of 1 in standard 2021 with this, Mardu Menace rotation-proof deck. It's pretty cool. So we kind of overviewed, the main strategy within the deck, which is, stack menace creatures, go wide, your opponent can't block you, and just kill them, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So there's some cool things that we can do within this as well. Most of them revolve around Offspring's Revenge. Labyrinth Raptor is one of our main forms of removal because our opponent's going to be sacrificing creatures that block our menace creatures, which eventually they will do because they have to protect their health points at a certain point. So this is great because, it's high priority. They're going to remove it, but we can easily bring it back to play when we have other creatures stacked. And the Howlbonder is great to bring back as well because now they have to triple block. There's so many really cool things to bring back into play. Even so off the start, we take Menace and Death Touch. This card comes back into play. We can put Death Touch on it again, which is really nice because typically the 1/1's not a great attacker unless we're just trying to get that last few points in. But a 1/1 Death Touch is an amazing blocker, right? And it will stop down any of those big attacks that our opponent's trying to send back our way. We do have life gain, right? The Grimdancer can have lifelink, Athreos can have lifelink, so that's quite nice. We are gaining a fair bit of life that way. Draw engines through the Crusader, through Village Rites, instant speed, your Kroxa with Village Rites. You can also Village Rites your opponent's creatures that you take with Tentative Connection after you attack. Kronos shuts down a lot of the shenanigans for fun. Yes, there's more efficient ways, but these other ways don't mesh as well with this deck. So that's why it's in here. It's great. It's a really easy deck to play. You just spam out these spells. You attack your opponent. You bring cool things back from the graveyard, and you take their stuff, which I'm sure they're a big fan of, right? So, typically some of our decks have a more in-depth strategy where it's like you have to do these specific things. But this just kind of revolves around stacking the menace and going as wide as you can on your opponent. The field wipes are going to get you. It's a bummer, but hopefully you can get there before you get hit with one. So with that all out of the way, we're going to get into today's gameplay footage. But before we do, I have to remind you I'm live on YouTube every morning at 6 a.m. at 7 a.m. We switch here to Twitch, and then we're back on YouTube at 6 p.m. All times are Mountain Standard. If you don't want to do the conversion, there is a Linktree link in the description below. You can click that. It'll take you to all of the different locations I have to offer, the Twitch, the YouTube. There's a bunch more, our tournaments, all that jazz, right? The gem giveaway. And then we are also playing with our Arena Assistant today, one of the best trackers for Magic the Gathering Arena. We have deck write-ups, deck videos, metagame analysis, you name it. It's all here. Check it out. That will be the Overwolf link in the description below. Thanks for watching, you guys. Don't forget to watch to the end to see my final thoughts on this deck, how it performs, etc., etc. And yeah, do take care and enjoy. Playing first is always nice. We're taking that Scry. We've got the Triome. Howlbonder's cool. The Labyrinth Raptor is really where this deck shines, though. We have Stormfist Crusader as well, of course. Here it is, Labyrinth Raptor. If it'll go. Two-Tooth Menace. Whenever a creature you control with Menace becomes blocked, defending player sacrifices a creature blocking it. So, they'll have to triple block and sacrifice one of them, right? And then we're, tagging that in with our Sonorous Howlbonder. Sonorous, I think. I don't know. My pronunciation is trash. What's up, DJ? Oh yeah, no, my name's Greg. Gregory, if you will. No, that's my name. It could be his name as well. I don't really know. I am a real person. Living here in the woods. Oh, hello. Easy girl. That's just what my girlfriends call me. Joking. I like the Hunted Nightmare. I mean, I'm kind of fidgeting. I should take my hand off the keyboard. People complain about that in my videos. I haven't taken my ADHD medication today, so it's one of those things. I don't know what our opponent's doing. Just straight chilling. You know what I mean? Did you know the most consistent way to win games within Magic the Gathering Arena is actually by utilizing the newly found Patience metagame? It's actually not newly found, but it's been around for a while. Let's just, I guess, get this out of the way, because we're not doing anything for 2 without it, right? The Plains is a dead card for us right now. Banana Hammock. Woof. It's probably just, is it Flash? Let's throw Kroxa in play. Interesting. So it's Temir missing the green land. They tossed the URO. No cards engraved, so that's fine. Obviously, there's 3 more in their hand. We know this. There's the Clover. Okay. Yeah, let's go Hunted Nightmare. There's no creature for them to throw their jazz on. Brazen Borrower is where this gets gross, right? I mean, it's just... Good job, bud. You know what I mean? Oh, they'll do it instant speed. How kind of them. So we want to play things as cheap as possible. And we're going to attack before we play anything. So if they do borrow to stop the damage, you know, they're only getting 1 bounce and we can play against still before the turn ends. Really? And then we play 2 drops instead of the Offspring's Revenge, because, you know, if they are holding out on the Clover for the double bounce, this way we have 3 permanents. Oh my gosh, we just play right into Stomp. Oh my god. That hurts. Big oofs. Yeah, a lot of people not playing best of 1 just to avoid adventures. Interesting. Well, I have a cool card. I mean, I kind of want to. We'll hold on to it. We want to save this connection for URO, though, but URO won't enter with Kunoros. We could hit for 8, take them down to 8. We need to remember that there's still a Brazen Borrower. We're not going to get URO. Let's just go for it. It hits. We can deal another 3 damage, hopefully, with Kroxa off our Offspring's Revenge. We have Menace, so it seems strange. Right? Leave us alone. I think that's the correct pick, right? We should have taken a creature with Menace and we could have won, I guess. Interesting. That could have been on us for not taking something that could have attacked, like the Raptor. But I was sure we were gonna see a Borrower. Maybe a little bit of a misplay there. Nonetheless, you know, we've got 2 Menace creatures in play. Borrower's the only threat. They can't play URO because of Kunoros. Well, I guess, you know, they can now. Shit. You know, misplay is my middle name, so, you know, we wanted to play Kroxa, so that was the idea, but I think we missed lethal in not doing so. But it's one of those things where how can you guarantee that what their hand was? It's... Holding our own, though. Got him down to 4. Oh, they can't replay it from the grave because there's not enough cards in graveyard yet. Interesting. Down to 1 in that case. With Menace, they need a secondary creature to defend. And we're going to pull out that triple block. Yeah, this is like super duper good game. Nice. Look at us go. Even with the misplays. We're going to take the Howlbonder here. So they've got a triple block. Which is awesome. Little dance you guys get after every win. Free of charge. Land looks good. I mean, you know, we have Kunoros. I don't even... You know, my pronunciation is just spot on. A lot of land. Really? -2, -2 mutate, Jazz. So that kind of nullifies our Stormfist. Wow. It's okay, it doesn't have Death Touch. Unless we give it to them. Let's pull the removal first. Menace and Death Touch, you know, 19 life's pretty high. I don't think we need to worry about that so much. So we need to worry about the Hemophage, you know, like the Whispering Caverns or whatever. Obviously the Octopus, the Shore Shark. If they mutate onto it, it's still only one creature. Oh, you dog. Woof. That's why they've got the dog. I should have seen this coming. It's alright. I mean, they hit for 3, or they don't defend because it's got Menace, right? We mitigate the damage they do. We need that sacrifice somehow here. It already has Death Touch, so let's go in with our Haunted Nightmare. We could get a decent hit in, but again, with no sacrifice, they just get it back, and that's not really ever that great. We have Vigilance on the Hound as well, which is neat. They'll kill it. Right. Let's just hold on to it for now. If there's no green, there's no Sterix, which is relatively manageable, I think. The Hemophage is annoying, especially if they can stack it. That's where it gets really risky for us. Oh, why did I even say it out loud? Yikes. I will block. I will trade. 100%. Do it. Do it. There's probably a petty theft. Let's grab that lifeline, because things could get weird for us here. If they have a flash creature that they're going to try to upset us with, now they don't. Now the block will result in a sacrifice. Hit for 7, gain 3. Ah! Ah! We need our Village Rites. 8.89%. We'll see where this goes. We could pump our creatures by 2. Right, that would be 5, 10, 14 total. The borrower can't block. Okay. Interesting. We need to kill that for sure. They have the sacrifice one though. Did they remember that? That if they have menace, and if they double block, one of them gets sacrificed. Yeah. Let's play a second Raptor, so if they kill one with a mutate, there's a backup. They have a lot of damage in the air through these borrowers, and you know, the next mutate does 6 damage to us as well. So, oof. It's a good thing we have you know, the life gain on the field. That'll really help us out. The shark is gross. Kill a creature, bounce a creature. We lose 6 life. Oh! Oh, plus chip damage. Right? And draw. And they hit for 7. Whoa. We gain 6 of it back at least, right? So that's a little bit better, I guess. Uh, 3, 6, 7, 8, 12. You get a nice hit in. We're close. We're so close. We'll put Death Touch on their Slither Wisp. See if we can survive here. We have a nice field state. The mutate will deal 8 damage to us. Plus, they can kill 1, bounce 1. Oh, kill 2. Good game. We should have kept a blocker. And it grabs flying as well, so. Woof. GG's. We tried our best. We got close. There's a lot of nice things happening there for our opponent. And, you know, we couldn't get that sacrifice effect. We've been waiting to take their creature this whole time and sack it. But, you know. Sometimes you just can't win. Letting our opponent play this out. Woof. Good game. The first thing I notice here is our opponent's using Lurrus as their companion, so we're going to take a mulligan. Try to pull our pooch. We don't get it. So that sucks. We'll keep this though. We don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole. Oh. I really appreciate that Twitch Prime, Corey. Thank you for supporting the channel. You distracted me, Corey. I wanted to play my Fabled Passage for our mountain. If anybody wants to distract us on stream, we are live every morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard. Oh, we don't pull their land either. Do we... Which direction do we go? Oh no! Let's focus on shutting down Laris. You know, misplay is my middle name. You guys can learn here through me. For 2, whatever. As long as, you know, there's no claims and stuff like that, we'll be okay. Because they could claim our Hound here, and that would be sad. Right, they've got the sack effect. Sacrifice a creature. Don't you dare. This makes sense to me. Get rid of the sack. Then if they do take our creature, it's fine. They're gonna buff it. No, okay. Dealing damage to us? What's going on here? I'm so confused. There's the -2. Okay. That's fine. They have no sack for it, right? Ooh, they do. They're targeting us. It's a fling for 1, and then the second damage hits us too. It's a 2 for 1 though. Plus we got the block with it. I'm interested. I mean, sure, the death touch for them is really good. We're gonna need our Raptor to get around that. Or just, you know, a red mana source. No blocks, that's fine, I'll take the damage. I'm not giving you a 5/5. Right, stop it. Get this idea out of your head. Really? Okay, they just take it themselves. Good on you, Bill. Really? You know there's a Call of the Death Dweller in hand. This is terrible. Ouch. There's the claim that we were worried about. You know, let's just take it ourselves. We still can't find the red source. We do get it from our Fabled Passage, but we lose our Menace creature, which reduces the cost of these now tripled connections, which we're not going to get to utilize here. There's a 5/5 in play. Like, we are gonzo. And now that we don't have our sacrifice trigger, because we had to use it to save ourselves, this is pretty weird. Oh man, this is a good game. Cry. Woof. Land looks really nice here. You know, so does the hand actually, it's not bad. We'll keep that 4th land and we can drop our revenge on curve. The Arsonist is actually pretty annoying. We can't defend against it. The death damage will kill us, but we almost should. You know what I mean? Just to get rid of it. They're gonna stomp us instead. Wow. Disgusting. Is it a fling? Yeah, just the giant. Step on him. So that's a good start. We'll toss the legendary into the flames first because of the legendary rule, so if it gets removed, we'll just we'll play another one, whereas we kind of want the Grimdancers to stack and not get removed. I don't know if we go Stormfist or Grimdancer. It's weird. Probably just grab more life gain, right? No attacks, which is also weird. We don't want this red deck to build up on us. Like, we're already in danger of Embercleave. I guess. Seems weird. Yeah, I figured. Ugh. They can't block because of the Raptor, which is pretty nice. Oh, Phoenix has haste. That's dirty. These are big hits. Then it kills our Raptor. That's just so annoying. Gain a life, which just generally helps. Really? What? Interesting. This is working. This is working. Right, now it comes back with Death Touch. Which, I mean, they're not defending against anyways, so I guess we should have taken life gain. But still, the life gain from our Hound is offsetting most of their damage. 2 Roberts is nice. Right? It just makes sense. We're still taking a massive hit here. More than I want to. We might not make it out of this. Whoa. That's a good spam by them. They went nice and wide there. Oof. I don't know why they didn't play that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 6. We could get to 10. Or we take the Phoenix for 1. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. We could pump it once. Or we have sorry. Does it gain Menace? It gains haste. So I think we still take the Bone Crusher Giant. Right? Take the damage. Now let's pump our creatures. And then we get to pull... I mean... We should have pumped them after. That's on me. We missed out on 2 damage there, but we still get it. 5, 9... Yeah, it's still there. Woof. We go first. You know, we've got our Revenge and Kunoros in hand. That's the dream, right? Ooh, the Raptor helps as well. I mean, obviously we do need that 4th land, but we'll get there. Oh, we mill both of them. This person really knows how to upset us. Do we risk it? Yeah. We'll pull in on tapped. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. We got this. That's fine. No! Hey, but that does work, though. Just restocking our hands. You know, nothing really great. Let's fizzle that borrower. So many cards in hand. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't supposed to happen in a Rakdos deck. We have 3 available, 3 copies of Kronos, so let's just start there. That shuts down his URO drop. Ayo! Clover's gross, though. Gross, 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 gross. Such a cool combo. They have to sack one. Of course, the other one still does get to block, but that's fine. We have another Raptor to pull anyways. Two land into the battlefield untapped is busted. Oh, the Innkeeper wants to draw too. Has the 3rd land. Nice. So we basically just want them to drop that Bean Giant and just smash them, right? We'll have a 1/1 too, so the Giant could attack. Getting these raptors back in play is so nice. We have backup Kronos, so I don't really care. Oh, and then they can't block anyways. I see. I don't even know my own deck. We're in a good spot here. Let's just hold on to this connection and try to get one of these giants through. Right, it's a 10-10. Take their spear right now, I bet. Right? Ooh, return to nature. They want to kill our Offspring's Revenge. And then unsummon for the token. Okay. That works. They're at 13 is the thing. Really? So they're gonna unsummon their own Lovestruck Beast, which still gives us 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Either way, they're screwed because the Howlbonder makes them triple block and the Raptor makes them sack one, so we're good to attack. Huh. Interesting. Makes my brain hurt. This is a pretty advanced deck as far as I'm concerned. Like, pushing through, waiting for that right moment to go for lethal. The deck could use a little bit more haste, I think. We survived the sideboard. They didn't use the unsummon on our Raptor token, which serves us well. We have the connection to take one of these bean giants. It should work. Well, we need the hounds for the UROs, is the thing. We have so many so we can pull them consistently. Yeah, I get it. Having them stack up sucks, but it's better to always have it than to be looking for it. I think we're getting roped. Sorry, Team at Clover. I mean, they had good plays as well, so it's nice to see that we're holding our own here. Right? Pushing them into frustration. Which is nice for a change, right? I think people are sleeping on the hounds, for sure, right? Like, you know, it's not great if they're on the play because they can beat you to URO before you can play your hounds. But, you know, it still stops it from coming back is the thing. And they could play into it as well. It's just, it's good. I think it's great. It's got Death Touch, Menace, Vigilance. It's generally pretty good. I think it was good enough to win us this match, that's for sure. Our turn. Land can go. We have nothing groovy to take, but it would be attacking at least. It makes sense. It forces their interaction with the Love Strike Beast instead of us. It's allowed to attack because of our Labyrinth token, which is awesome. They have to triple block every one of these, and then when they do triple block them, they have to sacrifice one of those blockers. So, just GG's. Offspring's Revenge is absolutely amazing. It brings back the Howlbonder, brings back the Raptor, the Stormfist Crusader. There's just so many things that are cool to bring back to the field with the Offspring's Revenge. Woof. Okay, this actually performed a lot better than I thought it would. You know, I think this is a sleeper. You know, I obviously understand it's not super competitive, but as far as jank goes, this is like one of those janked up cards that does almost want to surface into the competitive realm. You know, it doesn't because it's so prone to removal, but when you're making these weird decks, this works. I think this could really work well, again, with a Vigilance themed deck. Yeah, it is a dog, it has Vigilance. There's something you could do with that as well. And then just comboing it with Offspring's Revenge and, you know, our Labyrinth Raptor, our Howlbonder, or even, you know, replaying the Kroxa token as well. It's just, it becomes quite a bit for your opponent to handle if they don't have the wipes. And it's nice because things like, you know, the Haunted Nightmare dodges Storm's Wrath, definitely Clarion, even though we're playing 2021. It dodges some of those damage wipes, or even the damage spells, right? So it's neat. Obviously, a lot of the deck is pretty weak, but it's not so bad. And then even if you aren't exiling cards from your graveyard, which I still recommend you do, if for some reason your opponent's milling you or something, then you can get a Kroxa out as a 6/6, and that's going to be pretty aggressive. It doesn't have Menace or anything, so it doesn't really mesh with the deck, but just having that attack trigger every turn is really, really good. But again, just having it trigger for 2 and then again on your combat for free, that's very, very nice, and it's going to still disrupt your opponent, even though it's not really hitting the field for any amount of time. So let me know what you guys think of this deck, right? I think it's pretty cool. Are there any upgrades you'd like to see? You know, maybe different cards that I missed that would mesh really well with it, etc., etc., etc. This is our first day on the new internet. It doesn't seem as fast, but it seems more consistent. And I guess at the end of the day, that is what I need. It is about twice as expensive though as well, which is a bummer. So we're waiting on some adapters because we also bought a really expensive antenna that's going to hook up with it. So hopefully the two of those combined will finally solve our issue. And you know, even today's stream has been a lot friendlier. Again, we're live on Twitch every morning at 7, on YouTube an hour earlier, and then we're back on YouTube at night, 6 p.m. So literally, we're all day making content for you guys with Magic the Gathering. Check it out. Last month, we gave out 120,000 gems away. We have 350,000 gems to still give away. You guys heard me right. Don't miss out. Subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, all that jazz. I appreciate each and every one of you for your continued time and attention. Thank you so much. You're all gems, and I hope you all have a magical day. And if any of you decide to check out this deck, let me know what you think of the Athreos Hound and Offspring's Revenge. I think that's a bit of a sleeper right there. Those two seem to work very well together. And when we got both of those out in a game, that's really where we started to see that momentum turn. So again, I appreciate you. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Nice.